In the world of a record of a mortal's journey to immortality, the pinnacle of cultivation for human cultivators is the unattainable nascent soul stage. Before Han Li reached the nascent soul stage, the Qiannan region had not seen a nascent soul cultivator for tens of thousands of years. Throughout the entire human realm, only the Great Jin, a sacred cultivation land, occasionally saw such peerless powerhouses appear. At that time, the established nascent soul cultivators active in the world were only a handful: Che Lao Yao, Song Jili, Hu Laomor, Bai Lao Gui, and Feng Laoge. They were like the pinnacle of the human cultivator pyramid, looking down upon the masses. When Han Li was still in the late nascent soul stage, he had already clashed with two nascent soul cultivators, and the outcomes of these two encounters are quite intriguing. Slaying Feng Laoge's descendant, nearly facing a 10,000-mile chase. Feng Laoge was a rogue cultivator who had a close relationship with Song Jili. At that time, Han Li, seeking revenge against the Yin Luo sect, had killed several of its nascent soul elders. One of Feng Laoge's descendants, filled with fear and unease, came seeking refuge. Out of consideration for their past relationship, Feng Laoge agreed to protect him, even placing a secret technique on him so that other nascent soul cultivators could easily recognize him and ensure his safety. However, fate played a cruel trick. Han Li chose this man, killing him cleanly and swiftly with a single sword strike. Although Feng Laoge was present, Han Li had suppressed his cultivation to the early nascent soul stage using a secret technique and hadn't taken him seriously. Feng Laoge, caught off guard, was also momentarily careless, allowing a nascent soul cultivator to succeed in front of him. Enraged, he personally pursued Han Li for over a month. Although this descendant was related to Feng Laoge, they were actually separated by countless generations. What truly haunted Feng Laoge was the humiliation of a nascent soul cultivator publicly humiliating a nascent soul cultivator. Seeing that a major battle was imminent, Song Jili arrived just in time to mediate, persuading Feng Laoge not to fight Han Li to the death over a long-faded kinship. Ultimately, Feng Laoge relented and shook hands with Han Li, making peace. 2. Seizing Hu Laomor's concubine, trading his cold marrow for the beauty's freedom. Hu Laomor was the supreme elder of the heavenly demon sect, the #1 demonic sect in the Great Jin dynasty, and had connections with both Song Jili and Feng Laoge. When he held his concubine-taking ceremony, Han Li accompanied Song and Feng to the event. Unexpectedly, upon seeing the three concubines, Han Li was shocked to discover that one of them was his old friend, Zi Ling. Han Li immediately inquired, asking if Zi Ling was under a restriction. This question shocked everyone present. To question her in front of everyone at the ceremony was tantamount to a public slap in the face, directly accusing Hu Laomor of forcibly taking a concubine. Even Song Jili, who was on good terms with Han Li, couldn't help but secretly sigh at the rashness of his actions. Han Li didn't confront them directly, instead proposing a deal with old demon Hu. He took out the frost marrow, the main ingredient for refining the rejuvenating water, a treasure coveted even by nascent soul cultivators, capable of extending lifespan by 400 or 500 years. Old demon Hu was overjoyed upon first seeing the rejuvenating water, stating that if it truly was this item, he would not only release Han Li but also offer a generous gift. Although he later learned it was merely the frost marrow, it was enough to quell his anger. After a moment's thought, old demon Hu agreed to the exchange, only requiring Han Li to withstand one of his attacks to save face. 3. Why did a nascent soul cultivator retreat? Not out of fear, but for the great Tao. Why did both old monster Feng and old demon Hu ultimately choose to back down? On the surface, Han Li possessed two heavenly treasures, the Void Heaven Cauldron and the Eight Spirit Ruler, as well as two formidable immortal slaying pearls. He had revealed this item to Feng and Song, casually stating, "I, Han, obtained a few by chance, the number unknown, enough to make even nascent soul cultivators hesitate." Moreover, the spiritual energy in the mortal realm is thin. Every ounce of magical power a nascent soul cultivator wields depletes their lifespan. Feng and Hu, both nearing the end of their lives, naturally wouldn't act rashly. But the deeper reason lay in Han Li's possession of data on spatial nodes leading to the spirit realm. This data was given to him, Song Jili, and the 10,000-year-old corpse bear by Linglong at Kunwu Mountain, and Han Li's was the most complete. At that time, normal ascension in the mortal realm was no longer possible, and nascent soul cultivators spent their entire lives searching for the reverse spirit passage, yet always to no avail. Spatial nodes were their only chance. As Song Jili said to Hu Laomor, "At our level of cultivation, what do mere empty fame matter? Even if that woman is a beauty of unparalleled grace, would you really give up the chance for immortality for a mere concubine?" Feng Leoge and Hu Laomo weren't truly afraid of Han Li, but rather, for that sliver of opportunity for ascension, they chose to set aside their pride and cooperate. Having reached the nascent soul stage, they already understood, with the great Tao before them, everything else could be sacrificed. This is precisely the unique aspect of a record of a mortal's journey to immortality. In other novels, a nascent soul cultivator humiliated would inevitably face a battle, and the protagonist would undoubtedly win, but here, true powerhouses understand how to weigh the pros and cons, and know how to yield for the sake of immortality. This is the most realistic survival rule in the world of cultivation.